Hello everyone, today's tutorial will go over visor installation. So essentially what we're going to do today is we're going to take our 3D printed, painted, weathered helmet that doesn't have a visor in it, and we're going to put in a see-through visor to finish the helmet. So first I'll go over the materials we need to do that, and then I'll show you guys how I do that. To begin, you'll need a blank piece of paper and either a pen or pencil. You'll need a glue gun with a few extra glue sticks. You're gonna need whatever plastic visor material you're gonna use. I like to use Hobart face shields. It's a welding face shield that you can get online off of Amazon or from welding companies. I've always used this, they're great. And tape and a pair of scissors, and that is essentially all you need to install the visor. So without further ado, I'll show you guys how to do it. So the first step to installing your visor is you need to make a template. So the template is essentially the shape of what you're going to need to cut out to glue into the helmet, because you don't want to be gluing some big piece of plastic that doesn't fit in there. So knowing the exact size, what you need, will work best. And when you're working with templates, you're not cutting up too much of the face shield, and you end up being able to get multiple visor pieces from the same shield. I actually got the visors for all three helmets out of one shield. So using a template helps with that. So to make this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna slide the piece of paper up inside the helmet, and you're gonna take your pen and you're just going to trace out the design on the piece of paper. Piece of paper is nice because it'll bend to form to the helmet on the inside, and then you're just gonna trace it, and that will give you the design you want. Of course, I've already done that, and once you trace it, you're gonna cut it out. So one thing to keep in mind is when you're tracing and when you're cutting, it's always better to go a little bit bigger than needed. If you cut too small, you're out of luck, you've wasted that piece of material. So it's always best to go a little bit bigger. So as you can see here, even when creating the template, I traced out the design with having the piece of paper on the inside, and I cut a little bit bigger. And after doing that, after you have your template, what you're gonna do is you're going to, with the tape and with your scissors, I like to secure it with tape so it doesn't move around, so I'm not messing up and it's not moving and messing with my cut as I'm cutting it out. So tape it to it, use the scissors, and once again, bigger is better than smaller. If it's too small and doesn't cover the entire hole, you're out of luck. So always err on the bigger side, and after you cut it out, you can put it in, test the sizing, make sure it fits well and whatnot. So err on the bigger side. So once I tape it onto here, I'm gonna use my scissors, and I'm just going to cut it out. And when I cut it out, then I'm gonna have my plastic visor sheet. And once again, I use templates so that I can maximize the number of visors that I can get out of a single sheet. It's cost effective, it works well, so I recommend you do the same with tracing out templates. So once we have our template, I'm gonna do a test fit. I'll pick up the helmet, make sure the visor fits in there well, make sure it's not too small. If there's any pieces that I think I can trim off to make it fit better, then great. But I already cut this one and fit it, so it fits pretty well. So essentially you're gonna do that. So step one, make a template. Step two, cut the visor and make sure it fits. And step three will then be gluing. And you are gonna need both hands for this job, so I won't do this on camera, but I'll explain it to you. Once you have the visor inside, you're gonna be securing it with one hand, as you just saw me do. And with the other hand, you're gonna be going in with a glue gun. So this is kind of hard, your hand might cramp up, but what I like to do is once it's in there, I'm using my fingers to spread, make sure it's flush, completely pressed against the helmet. I'll start at all the corners. So I'll run the glue gun and secure the left side, then I'll secure the right side, maybe secure a little bit up at the top middle, a little bit there, and then I'll just hold it for a little bit, for like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depends on how quickly the glue will dry. And after those areas are glued at the corners, it will already be holding the visor flush against the helmet, and then I can take my left hand out, I have more space to work, and I can just glue and secure the other remaining parts around the helmet. And that's essentially how you attach it. The final product just looks like that. So once again, you'll start at the sides, maybe bottom, top, make sure it's flush because you don't want any gaps or anything in there. And then you're just gonna go around and glue the remaining bit of the visor in. So the glue gun works great. I've always used that. If I mess up, I can use a blow dryer to kind of soften and melt the glue and pull the visor out and redo it. But in terms of securing the visor long-term, it does work great. So that is what I use, and it gives pretty good results. So that's basically it. Steps are simple. Create a template, cut out your visor material, make sure it's the right size, err on the bigger side, secure it in there with one hand, make sure it's flush, then run the glue gun over all the corners, trying not to get it to overlap with the part that you see out of, because you don't want to be staring at glue when you're looking out of your helmet. And just go around, make sure it's secure, make sure it's dried and hard when you take your hands off of it, or else it'll just come up and you're gonna have to redo it. And that is essentially how you secure the visor. I'll include a time lapse of me doing this helmet so you can see the whole process. But basically that's it. Super easy tutorial, not that hard. Takes a little bit of practice using both hands to install with the glue gun, but once you get practice, it works really well and is super effective at installing visors and adding that finishing touch to your helmets. So I'm gonna do the same for these two right here, and they will be finished. And I actually have special plans for these 3 helmets. Next week, I'll be going to Fan Expo, my first convention. I'll be going with my wife. And we were informed that the voice actors for Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, and Anakin Skywalker are all gonna be present at the convention. So Ashley, James, and Matt are all gonna be there. So once we found that out, my wife and I are like, we gotta get their signature. We gotta get them to sign something. So we thought, what would be better than making the helmets for each of their squadrons or legions? So we're gonna be bringing these, and hopefully, if all works out, we'll get each of them to sign these helmets. And they'll just be fun pieces in our collection that we'll be able to have and cherish for a long time. So super excited about that. I'll try to take some video while we're there. Don't know if I'll be able to film any video with them or of them signing. I know that they don't like that, but the goal is to get them, the 3 of them, to sign these helmets. So I'm super excited for that, looking forward to it. But yeah, that is it. That's how you install a visor into your 3D printed helmet. And as you saw, it's completely see-through, completely usable. It's a great finishing touch on your helmets. So if you guys have any questions, please comment and I'll try to answer your questions. If there are any other videos or tutorials that you guys would like to see, let me know and I'll try to make videos for them. Once again, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. It really helps, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day.